Okay, guys, so we're back. Thank you for waiting. I thought that we would do a shot at the desk and I could show you, like, from start to finish how to dismember the banana flower, which is really, really quite something. And not a lot of people know, hey, Dangerous, not a lot of people know how, that there even is a flower to a banana tree. B, that it's edible, and C, how beautiful they are. So this one is supposed to be in the fridge, and I've had it out of the fridge for 2 days, so the outer leaves have gone, but the inner leaves are fantastic, beautiful and bright. So I'm going to show and go through with you guys how to get this ready for the dehydrator, and then we're going to talk about, hi again everybody, thanks for coming back. It's really important to me that we do separate videos for separate topics. That way people that are searching a topic can find me. So I appreciate that you guys are coming back. And if you can't, that's okay too. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And then we're also gonna, I'll show you, what it looks like after it's done being dehydrated in both the forms of the petals and of the beautiful inner flowers, and I'll show you what I do with those. I have a couple left that are dried, but I put them in my offering / potpourri. So I need to move this because it's a little bit too much for me to be right in the way of. Okay. There's my, there it is. So yes, thanks for coming back. We're going to do quite a few things with the banana flower and the banana, and read from books and talk and show, and so this will be a great interactive video to learn all about the banana and the banana flower. Now I have done a big long video on just bananas and herbalism. This is a tropical banana. They're meant to get this dark, so don't think that I let my bananas go that much. I'm not even a fan of bananas, but my husband is, and he loves the tropical fruits. Here you could see I have some mangoes and an orange that I'm blessing in. I like to bless my fruit on my altar before I eat it. It's just one of the things that I do. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff. I have so many projects going on right now, there's hardly enough room for me in here. But I found a spot to do it all, so we're good. I need to change Gertrude's water super quickly. But I can do that later. Let me just set her over here. I don't know. She's kind of screaming at me. Do you guys want to come with me to see what I do with her water? I can just show you. No, I'll do it in a different video. Okay. Sorry for my out loud thought. Let's just get back to the banana flower. I'll do a video today on changing the water of the Rose of Jericho. That way you guys can just see that video. Alright, let's stick to topic. And first we'll do a little bit of reading, I suppose, before we take it apart. I'm going to take off that leaf that I'm not so happy with. As you can see, it's really beautiful, and here are the little petals. And there's petals, or I don't know what to call these. Stamen? It's the wrong word, but if you guys know your botany, tell me what these things are called. You know, the inner part to the flower, the inside. So I'm taking off these outer leaves. Just like if you got a head of lettuce and it looked poor on the outside, you could take those leaves off, and underneath you've got some great things. There's no reason why you couldn't use this in magic because it looks tarnished, and dehydrate it. You could use it in workings. You could dry it into a beautiful bowl in the sun. The dehydrator doesn't let them turn out like that, but there's a lot of things you could do with these, but they are edible. However, I wouldn't be eating these petals if they look like this. No, no, no. But the petals underneath are great. Just peel the outer ones back. I found this in an Asian market. Yes, an Asian market. And sometimes you can find them in an international market, but I tend to just find them in the cooler section of the Asian market. It was only $1.99 for this whole entire flower, and to me that's a really small price because I'm not eating it, I'm drying it into multiple things. Here are just some of the petals from the last banana flower that I dried. And so I'll show you a picture of on the tree. So here's a banana tree. And actually at Alex's parents' house right before we left, we saw a banana flower, and it was just kind of right at the base here, right where the trunk comes up and right where the leaves started, there was a banana flower, just one. And I don't really know how or why they happen, but none of my witchcraft books really even talked about them. However, we're going to read everything we can out of these two books about banana in witchcraft, in Scotty's opinion. But we're going to try and, I want you guys to really try and start thinking of your own intuitive ways you might use it throughout this video while we're chatting. Because one of my favorite herbs or types of herbs to use are an herb or a piece of a plant that has that isn't in any book, and we just create a use for it on our own, because that is pure intention. And perhaps you do find a lot on bananas, but nothing on banana flowers. Generally, it will hold on to a lot of the same vibrations, you know, whether it's prosperity or love or exorcism or whatever. You can certainly take those with you, but just hold it in your hand, do meditation, sit with the flower, and see what comes to you. Or you could just start using it and taking notes, like, you know, when I added it into this, I really felt a higher vibration, or it worked better than the last time. And these are things you'll note in your Book of Shadows, right? So when I dried them, if you guys have ever seen kelp or kombu, is another word for kelp, it looks a lot like that once it's dried. It kind of looks like it has this salty residue on the outside. But, you know, they're just a bright purple, and I don't know if that's coming through on my video, but they kind of crinkle dried into a bright purple, and that's what this is, this big old petal. So, I haven't been able to find in any of my many books anything on banana flower, but again, if you guys find anything, I want to know. And also, if you have any intuitive ideas, I'd love to know too. B. Young says, hey, and happy Mother's Day, Brenda. Have dried the skins but never worked with the flower before. Yeah, and so I have shown you guys my banana skins loads of times that I work with. I'll either dry them in the form of like a shape or a cross, or just into these whole shells where we just kind of slip the banana out and you can do a working on the inside, you know. Also, a different energy, but same type of thing, a plantain skin. You know, plantains have a different energy altogether. So, it will be interesting to see what we come up with together to use these flower petals and whatever this is called, like the stamen. You guys, can somebody please look up and tell me what this part of the flower is called? Inside the petal, there's all these little hairy bits. What is that part of the flower called? If somebody could please tell me, that would be amazing. Hello, Steph. For monkey business. Stamen. Thank you. What was I calling it before? I can't remember now. Okay, stamen. Thanks, Brenda. Gotcha. So, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to talk about bananas out of some books now. And yeah, these are pretty cool once they're dried. And luckily, I got them to fit in a bottle that's about the jar that's about the size of the things themselves, so This is one of those bigger ball jars. It holds 24 ounces altogether exactly. I know because I can fit 2 things in one thing. Alright, so next let's talk about the banana. Let's talk about the banana. Okay, so firstly we're going to talk about its uses just magically and not when we eat it. The red book is the magical energies of when we ingest, and then the green book is the magical energies of when we're just working with it. So, banana, it's found on page 45 of Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. Again, that banana flower happens right about here. And folk names are Ma'ai, and then we have Bakove and Sanging, Sanging. Gender, does anyone want to guess the gender of the banana? Do you think it's male or female? The planet is Venus. The element is water. I told you most fruits' elements are water. This one I'm surprised because bananas are one of the fruits that you cannot juice because there's like hardly any water content in it. So that one I'm surprised that it's water, but it's all the more to say that every time I look at a fruit, the element is water, even the dry banana. The deity is Kanaloa. Kanaloa. The powers, let's see, did anybody guess the gender? You said phallic female, Brenda? It is. It's a phallic looking one, but the gender is feminine. So that surprises me because most phallic shaped things, the gender is masculine. Nope, not the banana. The banana is a phallic female. That's hilarious, Brenda. That's a really good way to remember it, too. Thank you. So the powers are fertility, potency, and prosperity. Ritual and what I use it personally for is to the dried banana peel. I'll use it to get ahead in a job. Like, for instance, if I was going up for a job against somebody else, within their own company or something like that, I would use it working with a banana peel so that they'll slip up and I'll get the job. You use these things however it makes sense to you. But to me, when I thought of drying banana peel, I was like, oh, Mario Kart, slip on a banana peel. Like, it's just how it resonates with me. And so you use it however you need to, but I have quite a few people that have practiced that working because I sent them free banana peels with their Etsy orders. And they were like, yes, I loved it. I was really able to visualize. And that's what it's all about, the intent, the visualization, the amount that you're able to put into it personally. Ritual uses. In sacrifices to the gods, a banana stalk. Okay, so that's not the leaf, but the stalk. There's a big long stalk to the leaf. I think that's what they're talking about. In sacrifice to the gods, a banana stalk was sometimes used as a substitute for a human. Yeah, I still think it's that part of the plant. And when we get to Texas, there's palm trees everywhere. There's banana trees everywhere. There's all these things. So we'll really be able to just go outside, tear a piece off, or find a piece laying on the ground even from a storm. Houston has the most thunderstorms. They just had a huge lightning and thunderstorm the other day that was record-breaking. I cannot wait to work with that energy. That's another thing I'm really going to like about Houston, Texas. Not trying to get too far off topic, but so I'll have the ability to just go out and find banana tree leaves and loquat tree leaves and lemon trees and lime trees. They're everywhere. It'll be a great new variety for me personally to work with. So the banana stalk was sometimes used as a substitute for a human in both Hawaii and Tahiti. Until the kapu, or the Code of Taboos, in Hawaii was broken in 1819, certain kinds of bananas were among foods forbidden to women on pain of death. Why? So in 1819, in Hawaii, No, and up until 1819 in Hawaii, women were forbidden from eating bananas. That's amazing. The banana plant is also used in contemporary voodoo rites, in which it represents the gods, since both they and the banana's flowers are hermaphroditic. Okay, so we just learned one thing about the banana's flower. It's a hermaphrodite. It has both masculine and feminine attached to it. I've never heard that about any other herb that Scotty's ever talked about. Have you guys? Have you guys heard me say it? I don't think I've ever said it. And we did find something on the banana's flower. I'm so excited. Okay, I just need to get my highlighter out real quick. And I have to say good news. It's been for over a week since I've been able to keep my altar candle burning, and I think it's because I'm back into this room with you guys after almost a month of being gone. I think there was just no energy in here and I had to build it back up. But now my candles have been like on point. So these flames are back to being like over a week old, which is great. Okay, so also used in contemporary voodoo rites in which it represents the gods, since both they and the banana's flowers are hermaphroditic. Cool, so we found it out. Flower. Magical uses. The banana is used to increase fertility and also to cure impotency. Perhaps because of these magical powers, if a bride is married under a banana tree, she cannot help being lucky. So maybe one day my in-laws will have a wedding in their backyard area on the canal under the banana tree. And you can't help but be lucky. That's so, so cool. The leaves, flowers, and fruits of the banana tree. So again, it's saying the flowers, which is this. This is the banana flower. Yeah. So pretty. The leaves, flowers, and fruits of the banana tree are also used in money and prosperity spells. Okay. We did find some uses. But I'm hoping that some of you thought of some intuitive uses before I was able to say that. My intuitive uses have been as offerings because not a lot of people even knew that their banana flower existed. Not just you guys, but since I found it 3 or 4 months ago and put it on the channel from a thrift haul from the Asian market, so many people then were like, I had no idea banana flowers even existed. Well, that means to me that it's really kind of this like unknown gem or a hidden beauty, or maybe you could use it like in a beauty ritual if that resonated with you. But the fact that most people didn't even know that these things existed, the flower of the banana tree, means to me that it's quite special. So beyond the money, luck, and prosperity spells that you can do with these, that's why I think it's so cool to, before you read in your books, before you read what the actual uses are, hold it and feel like what do I think that this could be used for, and really tap into what you think it could be used for, because then that's when you see your true intuition. I don't think you can see your true intuition after you already know the uses, because I think that muddles your opinion on it. Kind of like reading tarot for yourself is so difficult because it's for you and it kind of muddles some people. Some people can do it just fine, but hey, little bunny, how are ya? Yes. Okay, so Brenda says, I've got pygmy banana tree in my yard. We'll have to dry out its next flower. And Brenda's in Florida, so she gets way more fruit than even like Texas and that. But Brenda, does your tree every year get a flower, or does sometimes it not, or like how often does it flower? Does it flower once a year? I'm just wondering because we didn't really know much about them, and I don't know anybody who's ever had one in their yard besides my in-laws who just got their place. just a second. There it is. Okay. So now we're done reading about banana from this book, I think. Oh, wait. Curiously enough, an odd belief tells us that a banana should never be cut, only broken. You hear that, you guys? And I think what they're talking about is both the tree, like the branches from the tree, should never be cut, but only broken if you use the branches like palm or something. And also this should be broken and never cut. Now, if that's the case, all these fruit plates with all those cut bananas might be some, like, bad juju of some sort. I don't know. She's newly planted this year, so you're not sure yet. Okay, Brenda, thanks. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Nice to see you. Clarissa, hi. Intuition says it's like peeling back layers of protection upon and reveal the delicacy inside. That's so true. Hi, Jackie. Hey, Jackie, if you didn't know, I did get you a card. Jackie, you're the king of you're the Knight of Wands. If this is Jackie Torres, you're the Knight of Wands. All right. So I really like that idea of peeling back the layers into this really, really delicateness. So in that minds, it reminds me of like chastity as well. Okay, Jackie, cool. So you got one of the big cards. You got the Knight of Wands. I'm excited about that. Hi, Alla. How are you? Finally have been trying to catch one of your live videos. I did that. Love you. Hello, everyone. Love you, too. Thanks for being here, Saber. Nice to see you. So now we're done reading about banana from this book of Scott Cunningham. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the banana from this book. And we're talking about both the banana and the banana flower. And when we're done reading, we'll go ahead and take it apart. In between books, I'll show you what I showed you the petals all dried out, right? Now I want to show you the stamen all dried out. Okay? And what I did, this is the very last of the last ones that I had. I made a new moon potpourri, and it has lots of lovely things inside, including like blood oranges, coconut husks, which Brenda here can attest to. They smell like vanilla. Vietnamese coriander, dried orange peels, etc. But here are the stamen of the flowers after they're dried. So they shrink down in size quite a bit, and then they just kind of look kind of curly. And I put those in my lovely nature offering that's, you know, all organic, and you can make it as an offering to the sea or when you're out in the woods, or leave it as a potpourri in your house, and it's fantastic. But you can see these big banana stamens that are in there throughout. So that's what I ended up doing with those. And I made and blessed that potpourri in the new moon that happened about a month and a half ago. Alright, so after we read from the book, we'll dismember this, and then I'll show you how to get in the racks for the dehydrator. Let me go grab my dehydrator racks so I don't end up not doing that step. Y'all just say hello to each other. Hey, Mama Hennessy, it's good to see you. And hi, Ricky. I'll be right back, y'all. And I'm back. So I've just grabbed 2 trays from my dehydrator, and I'm gonna just have those ready for when I dismember that. I'm a fan of the word dismember. I use it whenever I can. I'm a fan of horror and herbalism, and so, you know, I think it's appropriate and funny. So that is my weird arse sense of humor. Okay, so let's talk about banana from this book, and I hope that you guys watched the last video and heard me talk about birthday cakes, because that was super fun, and I learned a lot that I didn't know before. So, bananas. Again, this is the properties of when we ingest it. So, you can't ingest the outside of a banana, I don't think. Maybe you can. But we're actually going to talk about banana peel in this too. So here we go. Banana, the planet is Mars. The element is air. Element makes sense because it's at a very high part of the tree, you know, up toward the top. You know, it wouldn't make sense if it was an earth element, whereas a potato would because it's buried in the earth. So that makes sense to me. Energies, and this is the energies of when you ingest it, when you eat it. Spirituality, love, and money. The lore, and I love lore. The banana is mentioned throughout the sacred books of India and is still considered to be a holy food. A valued a valued offering to Hindu deities, the banana's leaves are used to decorate marriage altars. Stalks of the banana plant, it is not a tree, were sometimes offered in place of humans during sacrificial rites in the Pacific. Polynesian legends tell of the creation of the original banana plant from the bodies of slain heroes. So that's really interesting that those heroic energies are there too. If you need a courage working, sounds like that would be a good thing to do. Eat some bananas to do a courage working and try and embrace those energies of those heroic folk, the original Polynesian legends, those, you know, legends of the past. In New Orleans, the plants were grown for luck near the home. So Brenda, having one near your house is great for luck. In Hawaii, food wrapped in large banana leaves was thought to be safe from introducing negativity. Now, we just talked about the oven out of our Hawaiian magic book that was donated to the channel by Scott Cunningham. The ube oven? No, emu oven. And in those ovens, I was talking about how they used to, they put hot stones under the ground that cooked the food. Well, when you wrap up one of those pigs for a luau, they wrap them in banana leaves. And it really doesn't have much taste difference because my mom has one of those underground ovens at her home that she built, and it tastes the same either way. So I'm thinking that the banana leaves are there to keep negative, from introducing negativity into the food. How about you guys? What do you guys think? Though we know little about the banana's origins, it is certain that people in India were enjoying the slippery fruits in about 2000 BCE. That bananas arrived in Africa at about 500 CE and in Polynesia around 1000 CE, and in tropical America during the 15th and 16th centuries. Bananas were introduced to customers in North America at the 1876 Philadelphia Exposition. Not long afterward, think if you were a part of that, the first time that bananas were introduced in America. That would be really something special to have as a part of your, this was part of my life, you know, looking back on it. Not long afterward, thousands of tons were being imported and purchased by an appreciative populace. Most of the bananas we eat today are grown in Ecuador. During the 1960s, this is interesting stuff, okay? During the 1960s, banana peels were sometimes smoked as a replacement for marijuana. I think we've all heard that as a joke, like smoking banana peel in the back room. Uh, though this had little to no effect beyond suggestion, it is curious that banana peels actually do contain minute amounts of psychoactive substances, serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. So that means that you could certainly use the dried banana peels in workings to get people past opiates, like for addiction recovery, and things that would include, well, opiates, narcotics, you know, things like that, addictive drug substances. You could use that because those substances are in this as well. You could do, you know, I have lots of ideas of workings for recovery of drug abuse. So let me know if you need information on that, but just use your imagination. You know, how could this work? Put your own spells together. It's a really great idea. Alright, now back to the book. Fortunately, smoking the peels had little effect, and the fad quickly died out. Don't eat bright yellow bananas! Those who dislike the taste of bananas may have never eaten a ripe one. Bananas are ripe only when the peel has begun to turn brown. The more brown spots, the more sugar that has been formed within the fruit. And that's why my husband lets these fruits go like this, is because he likes them very, very sugary and sweet. I myself really only like bananas that are green. And they're not even good for you at that point. But I do like the taste of a green banana. But honestly, once the peel turns yellow, I'm not a fan anymore. That made the raw diet really hard for me. I had to eat those cinnamon rolls that I made out of bananas. It was just bananas, cinnamon rolls, and dates, and they were really good. Like, really good raw food. And you put them in the dehydrator. They tasted just like a cinnamon roll. It was crazy. But yeah, I just had to get over the fact that green bananas don't fold. And they don't taste the same either, right? Yeah, silver roll, I like them too. Just wondering if it would work for chronic pain. You could surely do a working of smoking bananas and, not you smoking it, but drying the peels out and smoking them for your chronic pain. Why couldn't you? And you just make an incantation yourself, catered to your needs, and say it out loud to the universe while you're burning them in your cauldron, you know. I burn these banana peels to help extinguish my pain. I don't want to use chemical-related drugs. Spirit guides, please let these banana peels, the serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine help kill my pain. You know, just ask. Ask and you shall receive. Do what feels right to you, though, really. So now we're here to say magical uses. The fruits from upward on the stalk reaching toward the sky. And I want to show you, they grow like this. They don't grow down like this. They actually grow up toward the sky, out from the tree and up. So that makes them very, very interesting. And it says, eating bananas stimulate spirituality. The fruits form upward on the stalk, reaching toward the sky. Choose fresh bananas, baked bananas, or that exquisite Chinese treat, candied or toffied bananas. Also add the fruit to love and prosperity diets. So we got a lot of really cool and interesting information about the banana. Another reason why I like to do these videos live is because, even the one topic videos, is because I can only have a video that is 30 minutes long to upload. I can't go over 30 minutes. And by the end of that, I'm stressing out, I'm speed talking, I miss a bunch of points, I have anxieties. But here, it's just a calm, cool, collected, I don't have to, you know, it could be 3 hours long if I wanted. Good. So now let's get the camera a little bit closer and we'll dismember this banana flower together, and I'll show you how I'm going to get it onto the dehydrating trays. So that'll be super fun. And then I think right after this I'm going to cook some breakfast for my family, and then we'll be coming back on to talk out of this candle magic book, and then probably also about plantains in a separate video. So we'll look forward to those today. But let's get you set up so that we can get a closer look. Alright. Are you guys enjoying these one topic videos, and do you think that it will help later on when you want to search one topic in particular? I think it'll help. You know, I really am feeling like it's a good idea. So these little guys, you can either just slip them out of the shell and put them on the dehydrator. You can open them into a shape. Good, I'm glad that it's working. Thanks, Monica, for saying so. Or you can open them into where they make an X, like a cross, like a banana that would slip on. Or, you know, you could do them however, but I like to make them into an X or just keep, cut, now we learned we're not supposed to cut into them, so only tear it open and get the fruit out. But peeling it's much easiest. Much easiest. Hey Iridescent C, how are ya? So you just get the fruit out and lay that on there however you'd like to have it. If it's going to be in an X shape or something. Here's a dried X shape. You just peel it like you would from this point, and this is the same size banana, and then just lay it on your tray like that. Okay? And if you wanted them to be in this shape, we learned in this video we're not supposed to cut the bananas, we're only supposed to rip or tear them. So if you were able to get that into that shape, sure, but if not, then don't, you know, don't do it. But you could put a working inside of the banana if you dried it like that. Okay? So there's some ideas for there. And, whoop, don't put that in the dried one. Okay, Grandpa. I think my grandpa liked his California poppies that I set out for him, and I just say that because of the way they were like really beautifully opened up this morning when I went to look. Okay. So, always before I do a new herb, I always cleanse the working space. Because I do all kinds of stuff on here. So I just use a little Florida water to do that. And after a couple of seconds, the smell goes away. The smell never really hangs on to it. There's so much alcohol in it, it just kind of dissipates pretty quickly. So these ones I just kind of slowly pull off. And with a soft sound, they just kind of pop off almost. Okay, and then that reveals, and then I will lay them sideways on my dehydrating tray like this, so they don't fall through the little racks. And if you want to go ahead and put intention into this while you're opening it up, then that's okay too. But remember, if you want to have this for different intentions, like maybe you want it for love and money, they're very different things. So I always put my intention into it when I'm using it. But if you know that you want this for love and not money, you can add more intention to it now. Yeah, bye Michelle. Thanks for stopping by. Have a really lovely day. So sure, you can just kind of gently take them all off in one go. But there they are. They're pretty. And then this will slowly get smaller and smaller. For those of you who watched the video where I sent Magical Mandy that crazy cat lady briefcase, I also gave her the inside of the banana flower, and it turned into like this cool looking wand. So as soon as we get these petals off, we're going to see that. Now, see how the stamen are all gone? Now we just remove this petal. Hello! Ah! And there's some more, and that's just kind of where they're at and how they live. So these petals, you know, they took a lot of space in the dehydrator, but once you dehydrate them again, they get to be really small. Here's what the petals look like. After they're dehydrated. Much smaller than the actual, you know. So this is what they turn into. Look at that really, really bright. It's like a magenta red. See, it's really beautiful. So this will take up a lot of space on your dehydrator, but just one at a time, or a few at a time throughout the days. It'll take time, but you'll get there. And it's worth it. And then get a big jar like this that holds 24 ounces. Wide mouth jar, really important for these. If you didn't have a wide mouth jar, you wouldn't be able to fit them all in. Okay, so tell me what you guys use banana for in your workings. Any part, the fruit, the peel, the banana leaves. Do you guys use it in any other part, like cooking, or what all do you use banana in? So sometimes the petals are hard to get off if you can't just pull them back like this one. So just try and get your thumb under there and then pull this way. Another petal. And I'll lay these out a lot more properly when we're done on the dehydrator, because that's the other thing. Air has to get through the racks or else it won't properly dehydrate everything. So one banana flower could easily take up your entire dehydrator. Now, if you don't care what the stem looks like, because once it's dried it's all crinkled anyway, you could just pull from the top. Whoop, but it could break. So once we get this all broken down, we're going to have this cool looking wand thing. And Magical Mandy has one that I made. I could use a knife to do this. I usually like to use my hands just because I feel like it's going to have more energy from me in it. So this can end up taking a bit of time. So I feel like we should chat. What should we chat about? Prosperity and money spells. Right. That's what we were reading. I really want to get this to the point where I can show you guys the wand. For fruition. I'm a year of the monkey babe and it resonates with me. That's awesome. So I am going to use a knife on this. I'm going to use my special knife though, that my dad gave me. My dad won this knife as an award by these people, this old company from the 60s called Snowboy. And he got the 1962 Snowboy Display Award and his knife, name on the knife and everything when he was working as a stock boy in a grocery store. And I just love this pocket knife. And it's what I use for my magical knife. So. There we go. That worked. I just kind of cut two little... And monkey business, of course. Monkey business. Gotta love that monkey business. These are kind of sticky. Mojo, right? Kind of sticky. Just a little cut into it. Look, there's all these weird sticky... Do you see all those stickies? It's like syrup. Okay, so as you keep going through here, as you can see, it turns out to be a bit of a process. Cut leaf by leaf, and you get this wand. And I don't really know how to explain what it'll look like. The birds chirping out my window are so lovely. Like, I really appreciate their sound every morning. It reminds me that there's just this utter beauty right outside of my window, and I don't tend to think about how beautiful the simple things are enough. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Such an amazing day for so many people. And if you don't have your mom anymore, I'm so sorry, because mine is quite my rock, and I'll miss her so much someday. I love you, Peggy. So this kind of gets looking cooler and cooler as it goes. Like, it just gets smaller and smaller, and then you can decide when to dry it. But as I was peeling these petals, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to look so cool once I'm just, you know, it's going to be this like little wand. Okay, right now my hands are super sticky, gotta tell you that. Just go layer by layer until you get all of these stamen off. And see, it just makes this really cool back and forth looking wand, and it's like a perfect place for your hand to go. Like, they're like finger knots. I don't know. And then the inner stamen look a lot different from the outer of the, so they're dark on the outer, and then when they get to the inner, they're lighter. So, let's get in here. We'll be done with the video once we have this unveiled, but I really want you guys to see the wand that you can make out of this by dismembering it. And so, as you can see, it's hard to get them to stay into the perfect petal shapes once you get to the lower petals. And they're also yellow on the inside rather than red. So you have quite a few different things you can dehydrate and jar up, and they'll all look a lot different, but be from the same beautiful banana flower that most people didn't even know existed, you know. I don't see why you couldn't use it for beauty workings, just because it's like that hidden secret. Like, bananas have flowers? What? They're amazingly beautiful and magenta and pointy and cool, and you can turn them into a beauty wand? What? Why not, though? Why couldn't you do all those things? Yeah, the color change of the petal iridescency is so awesome. Going from this super uber bright magenta to now this yellow as we go along. So, you know, you might feel at this point it would be the perfect size for a wand and want to dry it at this point with even those stamen on the inside. I say, why not? You know, it costs $2 for that giant banana flower. And, man, if you are able to, like Brenda can, go to her own tree and harvest one she grew herself. So look, you could have it be this big. That kind of looks, this looks almost perfect to me. I think I want it to be 1 or 2 more layers, and then I'll be done. Let's see. And I'm just going to dry the whole thing on the dehydrator and have this beautiful banana flower wand that you could use for, I'll use it for money workings, but you could use it for love, fertility, really anything you want. I think that might be it. I think that might be perfect. I feel like if I take more, it'll be too little. I also feel like the last one was more perfect than this one. So with these, stop when you think it's time to stop. And I'm going to dehydrate the whole thing just like that, y'all. Again, when you go to space these things out on your dehydrator rack, make sure that you're putting them not like layers on top of each other, but just a single layer so that the air can get through, because that's how it dehydrates, is with air. And remember to put it on the lowest setting that you can for dehydrating. And if you have something like this flower and it won't fit in between the 2 racks, put it on the top rack where the bubble dome is, and the bubble dome will protect this. So I'm going to be drying that just like this into a wand. And like I say, there's places for your fingers to go and hold on to. It's really, really cool and magical. And I hope that you guys get a chance to check out banana flowers. And I really want to hear in the comments after the video is over what you guys do with bananas in your workings, or what you would intuitively do with these banana flowers before I told you what they were good for. So we'll come back on for more lives. I'm going to cook my family some lovely breakfast. Let me make sure there's nothing I need to answer. It is a really interesting shape, Thomas. Yes, happy Mother's Day, everybody, and we'll see you super, super soon. I love you guys. Bye.